I decided that I was going to do this video for you guys kind of very last minute, but we're gonna just sit down and just have a chat with each other. I don't know how many of you follow me on social media, little plug, follow me on Instagram at Casey_and_Rose, because I do have a new Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook or wherever. But if you have been following me, I've been doing this new project. It's called 365 with the Sun, and it's basically just a mindfulness project where every single day myself and people all over the world take some time, either when the sun is setting or the sun is rising, to disconnect, stand outside, have a moment with that sunset, with that sunrise, with the energy of the earth that we are on, and just take some time for yourself. Some days I like to just like sit and read, other days I'll do some yoga, other days I'll just decide to take my dog for a walk. But it's really nice to have that moment to really just spend with me, but also to be able to see another transition and like show gratitude for the things that have passed since the last sunset. So with all of that being said, it is about 15 minutes from sunset now, and I figured this was a great way for me to make sure that I don't talk your head off, because I'm giving myself a little bit of a time limit, because if the sun goes down, we're gonna have no light for this video. I'm here, I'm comfy, I have my little unicorn slippers on, and we are going to get chatting. Now, you guys ask me questions all of the time, and I feel like my response to your questions about a whole bunch of different things, like how did I get into mindfulness, how the fuck do I wake up so early in the morning, wake up 3 hours earlier than I need to, how did I push past my social anxiety. You guys ask me a bunch of questions, and I feel like my answer is always the title of a book. I can give you more advice past that, but it always starts with, well, I read this really great book. So what I decided to do is put together my favorite personal growth, self-help, whatever you want to call it, books, because those are the things that changed me. And honestly, I wasn't really into the idea of reading self-help books. It came about when I started Beachbody coaching, because part of the expectation as a coach is that you are doing personal development. And personal development basically just, it translates to reading self-help books. Train. And I wasn't about it in the beginning. I was like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, I don't need to be hearing any of this. And I was already like in school to become a therapist, so probably not the best attitude to have, but seriously changed my life in so many different ways. These books have given me the power to tell people to fuck off. These books have helped me find empowerment in myself and help me on my road to becoming self-actualized. Thank you, words. So I figured I would share with you guys. Now, big thing, me with my reading, I read about 2 to 3 books a month. I'm real deep. I love doing this stuff, but I don't have any books to show for it. And the reason for that is, one, a lot of the books that I go through Audible, because I like to fill minor time in my day with bigger value. So the time that I'm doing dishes, the time that I'm taking a shower, the time that I'm doing laundry, I like to listen to audiobooks. And if I do buy the physical book, I like gifting them. If the book is really good and it impacts me and I see that it could help another person, I'll mail it out to one of my followers. I used to give books to my coaches when I was with Beachbody all the time. I'm sending things to my friends and my siblings all over the place. So I honestly probably only have 3 or 4 physical books in my bookshelf, even though I've read so many. So what I did, and I'm super proud of myself, you guys should be proud of me too, is I walked through Barnes & Noble so that I could still get some kind of visual for you guys of the books, where you can find them, what they look like, who they're by. So when you're ready to pick out your first book, or maybe the next book in your process, you know what you're looking for. Because a big thing with a lot of these books is it starts off as one book and people love it so much, or it helps people so much, that they create a workbook to go with it, or they create volume 2 to go with it, or they create an oracle deck to go with it, or a reflection book to go with it. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting what you want. So I did walk around, went to Barnes & Noble. Walking into Barnes & Noble for me is just as bad as like walking into Target or Five Below or AC Moore, but I walked out without buying anything, so be proud of me. But if you guys want to know what my top 12 self-help books are, keep on watching. Alright, so I figured we could kick this video off with the 4 books that really helped me with me. Honestly, becoming unapologetically myself, being able to stand up for myself, really helping me with my social anxiety and understanding my social anxiety, and helping me just like exist as a human being in the world and accepting who I was instead of just like blending into the background. So the first book, and a book that I absolutely love, I feel like I might have bought this book 6 or 7 times at this point, because I bought it, I read it, I gave it to someone, and then I knew someone else who could use it, then I knew someone else who could use it, then I wanted to read it again, but I had already given it away. It's Get Over Your Damn Self. Get Over Your Damn Self is by, now this is the issue and this is why I decided to do it first, her first name's Rami? Last name Neustaddt. I've always had like this weird, like, it's probably part of my social anxiety, this weird like piece of anxiety. I get really anxious when I don't know how to pronounce someone's name. Now obviously this author is not watching this video, but to show her respect, I'm just not going to attempt to pronounce her last name. But Get Over Your Damn Self was one of the first, if not the very first, self-help books that really hit home with me. And for anyone who struggles with any kind of social anxiety, that's where it really helped me, because it helped me kind of remove myself from the situation. A lot of the times we like to think that people are watching, people are judging, people have these expectations for us, strangers on the bus, people in the grocery store, people who watch us on social media. So Get Over Your Damn Self was really about removing myself from that assumption that I was that important to other people. Amazing, amazing book. Next book is Girl, Wash Your Face, and that book is by Rachel Hollis, which has made, like, it's become such a trend in the past, I don't know, 4 months, and I love it because it was such a good book when I first read it. I actually did a little bit of a book club with a few of my girlfriends reading the book as well. Now she does, like, I think she has, not an audiobook, I guess a podcast. She does a whole bunch of, like, self-help challenges on social media, but it's really story driven and really about kind of removing a certain expectation that you have for yourself and your life and being able to live it the right way. I love it to pieces. I recommend it to every female I come in contact with. Such a great book. The audio version was really great as well. You have to be really careful with audiobooks because sometimes the people who like actually read the book are really terrible and ruin the book for you, but this was so good. So good. Number 3 is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I love it. It's by Mark Manson. It's another one of those books that's just like real deal. Let's sit down, cut the shit, and really talk about how you can live your life to the full potential. And that book I actually had to read a few times over the past 2 years because there are some times where we just get so overwhelmed by life, so overwhelmed by the things that we want to be doing, by the things that we know we're not doing, by the things that we know we aren't accomplishing. It just gets to be a lot, and it puts a lot of weight on your chest, and then suddenly you find that every little thing in your life stresses you out when it shouldn't. This book, and it's like bright, like orangey red, saved my life. Love it to pieces. And the 4th just general self-help book that I love oh so very much is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I love the way she writes. I absolutely love all of her books. That is the main one. It is yellow. It's a quick read. It's a pretty short book, but a great book to read and a great book to have on hand so that you can go back to it. It's one of those books that you take a million notes on, even though there's like less than 200 pages. And then she made other books. So she also made You Are a Badass at Making Money, which is more so focused on, instead of your mindset within yourself, your mindset on your ability to bring in an abundance. Love. Very short books, easy reads, great to listen to on Audible as well. Great. Is it just me, or does it sound like the birds are just like loving on each other real hard? Okay, so the next 2 books are like some of my very favorite books, and both of them I had read before I even started coaching. So these were like the exception to my disgust in the idea of having to do personal development. The first one is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, and I shit you not, I don't care if you are in a new relationship, you have been together 6 months, 6 years, decades. I don't care if you have grandchildren. I don't care if you're not even in a relationship and you have roommates, or maybe you have a team, or maybe you have kids. It does not matter. This book, understanding your own love language and also how you can express how much you love and care for someone else so that they receive it in the same capacity that you are trying to send it, is golden. And I have to say, this book helped me so much. It helped me understand issues in my own relationship and feeling like I was undervalued. It helped me in my relationship because now I can express to Dan like the ways that I receive my love and the ways that he could show me, because sometimes he tried harder than he had to. Other times, you know, it was the last thing he would think about. It also helps me understand how I could show it to him because our love languages are completely different. But this book literally fits for everyone. So it helped me with, like, I don't know, showing appreciation to my family, especially my father. It helped me when I was running the mentorship for other coaches, really just showing them that I was here and that I believed in them. Understanding people's love languages, understanding your own love language is so super important. That's another book, like, have it on hand, have it in your bookshelf. 'Tis amazing. Book number 6 is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and this is one of those books that is like the answer to everyone's question. I was never a morning person, like absolutely not. I was the type of person who would rather stay up until 3 so that I could wake up much later. But now I wake up typically between 4 and 5:30 every day, regardless as to what I have to do that day. Only because this book was able to help me figure out the value behind having a productive morning, the value behind having control of your day from the very beginning, the value behind starting your day with energy and excitement and having an expectation that the day is going to be great, and the value behind like being able to check things off your list before 8 a.m., which for me is like such a small treat to be able to, like, people are just waking up and I'm sitting there and half my to-do list is done. But it's not so much waking up and doing and doing and doing. And I feel like that's one thing that really stood in my way before I started working through my own morning routine, is I was waking up to do and go. I was waking up, I was already pissed off at the alarm for going off, I was snoozing, and then I was rushing, getting dressed and going out the door. And of course that starts your day really, really crappy. But to start the day with a routine, to start the day with some accomplishments that you've already checked off your to-do list, to start the day with some peace, knowing that you have time, knowing that the first thing that you're doing is giving yourself attention before thinking about the things you have to do for the rest of the day, is amazing. And just the way that he wrote it and the way that he created this initial Miracle Morning routine really made it easy for me to transition from fuck you, don't talk to me until noon, to I'm now pretty much a morning person. So alright, so the next one was actually a book that I was supposed to read for like summer reading. I believe it was either my 7th grade year into my 8th grade year, like late middle school or early high school. But either way, I absolutely didn't read it. I looked at it and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to go on, Spark Notes, and just figure it out that way. And I ended up reading it a few years later and loving it and reading it again and again and again. And I just finished my 4th round reading it, running a book club. So this book is The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. And it is all about really figuring out, okay, I know there's something I'm not happy with in my life. I know there's many things I'm not happy with, or maybe just like I feel like I'm missing something, and breaking down the main points of what makes you happy, and not what in like a tangible way, not what as in like going to movies makes me happy, so I'm gonna go to a movie once a month, but really finding a way to create and manifest and hold on to that core desired feeling, and really, really being able to have that with you throughout your years. So she did a whole project within herself, and the whole book is just explaining through exactly what she did and leading you through it as well, so you can do your own happiness project. She did it for 12 months. It was absolutely amazing. I did it myself last year, and I felt like it really helped me turn around a lot of, I guess just like my mindset on what happiness is. And for someone who struggles with depression so bad, the word happiness is like a very sensitive topic because I feel like it's something that's constantly being taken away from me. So to go through this book and the book that I'm going to mention next and really understand more about happiness and how we can create it for ourselves and more about what it is, because I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding as to what being happy is. Mind-blowing. Such a good book. And I definitely recommend, if you have seasonal affective, if this time of the year really starts to get you down. The second time that I read this book was like mid-November, and it was honestly probably a good anchor for me, because throughout all of the crap, the writing itself is so light and so enjoyable. It's not something that you have to like trudge through, but the content really hits home, and I loved it. So along with that, and along with the positive psychology vibes, I also have The Happiness Advantage, which is by Shawn Achor, and I didn't want to say his name wrong, Shawn Achor, which is crazy because I just got to see him speak last summer. He's absolutely amazing and like one of my low-key positive psychology idols, but again, understanding happiness in the right way. So I feel like I'm saying this over and over and over again. If depression is something that you struggle with, or if you just feel like there's something that you're lacking and you could be feeling, doing, enjoying more, read that book. All right, and the last 3 books are more on the spirituality side, but not so much, not heavy into my woo-woo stuff, so please just hear me out. So 4 books, I guess. The next 2 books that I want to mention are both by Gabrielle Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back, and Judgment. Detox is really just removing all of kind of like what we understand now as to why things happen, and this like idea of coincidence, this idea of, you know, I have to do it for myself because I'm not supported by anything outside of myself, and understanding the workings of the universe happening around you and for you, and understanding how you can work with the universe. So instead of saying I have to do it all myself, or I'm just gonna lay back, life is gonna be how it's gonna be, the universe has your back. And then Judgment Detox is another great book by Gabrielle Bernstein. They're just really, really good. And she's a great speaker. She's like a spiritual coach. I have her affirmation deck is probably something that you guys have seen a lot in like my pictures and videos and stuff. It's like an oracle deck with affirmation cards and beautiful watercolors. Just amazing soul, amazing writing, amazing books, and you can find them anywhere. The next book is The Secret, and I know I talk about The Secret a lot, so I just want to give it a little bit of airtime. The Secret is by Rhonda Byrne, and it is one of, I think it's like 4 books, but that's the main one. Like, if you read The Secret, you're golden, and then the rest are like extras. And The Secret was actually almost kind of like my introduction into woo-woo life. But The Secret itself is all about the law of attraction and manifestation, and it really breaks it down in a way where you don't feel like you're taking a science course, which I have found is really difficult, because when you try to research stuff like this, it can get really overwhelming. Like, your woo-woo journey can get really overwhelming really quick because there's just so much to learn. But The Secret was such an easy way to break it down, help me understand the law of attraction, help me understand manifestation, help me understand the way energies and frequencies work, and kind of just help me feel it. And if you are not a book person, but you're interested, they also have The Secret on Netflix. The last book that I want to bring up is a book that you guys have been asking a lot of questions about, because I'm reading it again. I feel like I read it every 3 months, but this one I actually have physically with me so I can show you instead of the Barnes & Noble version. This is Change Your Energy, Healing Crystals for Health, Wealth, Love, and Luck by Krista N. Mitchell. This is the book here. It is amazing. So this is when people come to me and they want like a beginner's understanding to crystals and how crystals work and energies and how they can use it for themselves and how they cleanse them, how they use them, how to not abuse them, all of that fun stuff, recharging them. This is the book. She goes through it all, and honestly, not only is it like a beginner's understanding as to what they are and how they work and really covering the basics, but it goes beyond that. So she goes through sections of like, let me find one, like a few chapters are just like different categories that you can use crystal healing for. So like physical health and travel, and she'll go through different things that you would need crystals for: injuries, pain, swelling, inflammation, accelerated healing, adrenal fatigue, afternoon pick-me-up, appetite control. And she'll go through and not only just tell you crystals are good, this is how you work with them, good luck, which is something that I felt I struggled with, because I was like, all right, now I'm really excited, and I threw myself into this world of crystals and thinking that I needed to buy all of them and thinking I needed to like own half of a crystal shop and not understanding really how they worked. Where here you say, I need something for appetite control, and she has a section and she explains, this is the crystal combination you should use, this is why, these are the properties they have, this is how to use them, how often to use them, whatever it may be. It's like golden, 100% golden. And it's what? Okay, well, for whatever reason, I can't tell you how much it is. $14.95, so it's $15. I promise you, I don't hear the train. Like, living here, it doesn't bother me, but recording videos, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, there's loud noises. And then it also comes with a little like crystal appendix, crystal dictionary in the back, which I thought is golden. So there you have it, my 12 favorite self-help, personal growth, personal development, whatever you want to call it, books that really helped me in a huge way. Now, I told you I read 2 to 3 books a month, so I've read quite a lot. These 12 really made a difference. I'm going to link all of them down below so you know what books you should be looking for, and you can take your pick. Guys, end 2018 the right way. Don't wait to make a change in yourself, whether it be physical health, mental health, emotional health, in 2019. Buy a $15 book, get started right now. And if you need help, you know where to find me. You can leave comments down below if you have other book recommendations or you have questions, and you can always find me over on Instagram, Kasey, Kasey, _Annrose, ANNROSE. But for now, the sun is going down, perfect timing. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.